that's not what this video is about. As if I could play that tune. Anyway, so if anyone has tuned in for a period of time on this channel, you know that I have had some ligature issues. I mean, I have other issues as well, but ligature issues. So I've had ligature issues as long as I've had this Drake mouthpiece. Now, I absolutely love this Drake mouthpiece. This is a Drake FG. It's a fantastic mouthpiece. The FG is for Freddie Gregory, but Aaron Drake makes absolutely amazing mouthpieces. And this is one here, and I have videos on this mouthpiece, and I love it. Absolutely love it. It came with a ring ligature, a plastic ring ligature, a 2-rail ring ligature, which is absolutely the best sounding ligature that I can play on this mouthpiece. However, if anyone has used a ring ligature, you understand and know that when you go to move the mouthpiece with a ring ligature, from time to time, if you don't have it down far enough, it could move, and then the reed moves. So my issue with ligatures has been, this is not necessarily, it's a little bit thinner in the profile, this mouthpiece is, than say an Auto Link hard rubber or a Meyer hard rubber or a Jody Jazz hard rubber. So ligatures that would fit those mouthpieces fit this one, but you have to put them down further on the profile of the mouthpiece, which means that more reed is showing on the top here and ligatures lower. It's not that big of a deal, but it is a little bit for me. And all these ligatures that I've been using, because they're down lower and I can't really crank them, and I'll explain that in a second, I can't really crank the screw on it, I'll go to move it and it will slide every once in a while. So I have been using this ligature. I've been primarily using two. This is a Van Doren Optimum, but for alto clarinet, because I thought, oh, I'll buy one for alto clarinet because it's going to be a little bit smaller than the tenor Optimum, because I use the tenor Optimum on this. And again, I just had to put it down further in the profile. Now, I kind of Frankensteined this one in that, see the plate inside? The plate is actually a gold color. I took that plate off of a tenor Van Doren Optimum that I had. I figured that plate might give me a little bit better reed coverage. And this one has worked well. I've done recordings with it. It's worked okay, but I do have to put it down further in the profile than I want to. And it has slipped from time to time, because when I go to crank it with the screw, like if I go to screw it in, I can't go too far. I mean, I crank it down as much as I can, but if I go beyond that, I could possibly strip it and then it won't be usable. So the other ligature that I got, and this was a vanity purchase, by the way, because I really liked the way it looked, but this, look at this ligature. Boy, does this look like anything that costs a whole lot of money that I probably can't afford right now? Yes, this is a Ishimori knockoff. It's not an Ishimori. I got this for like $9 on Amazon, but it looks just like an Ishimori. It's got the double rail inside, and it's worked really well. This is by a company, it's a name that I can't pronounce, J-I-A-Y-O-U-Y. I'm not even gonna attempt to say it. I'm sure I'll say it wrong. But anyway, you can find this on Amazon, as I did, for like under $10. And it's worked okay. However, when I put it on, it's the same issue. I had to go down too low. And then look, there's no space here. So if I keep twisting, once I stop twisting, it can't go any further. It can't get any tighter around the reed. And so it has to go as low as possible. And then I still have gone to move it, the mouthpiece, and this has slid a little bit. So my search continues. And now I say all that, I purchased a new ligature, and I'm hoping that this will be the one that I use. But I was on some forums and saw some people talking about, I actually was interested in some BG ligatures, because I figured, okay, there's one that looks pretty no nonsense and it's a double rail. I think it might be kind of cool. I just need to get the right size. So I ended up buying this one. I think it's called the Tradition, but it's an L17. Yeah, L17 Tradition. L17 Tradition. BG. And it says for Alto, but I was on some forums and they said this size fits. And if they weren't even talking about a Drake, they were talking about a Florida Excalibur, which I played before, a Morgan Florida Excalibur. Great mouthpiece, but it just didn't work for me for whatever reason. But I remembered that it also was a thinner mouthpiece, not as thick as what like a Meyer or an Auto Link. So I thought, okay, well, it probably would work on my Drake. And sure enough, it does. But here's the great thing. Look at how much space there is in the screw. And it's not rubbing against the mouthpiece. The screw is not rubbing against the top of the mouthpiece. So I'm hoping that this one will be the ligature that I'll use for a while, and then I won't have to make any more ligature videos because this ligature thing has been a sickness. I mean, it's really been bad. So anyway, here's the ligature. So for right now, this is the one I'm using. And you know what? I'm going to stick with this one. I'm really going to try to stick with it for like a year at least, because it actually looks cool too. But the grip is fantastic and I like the sound, and I need it in silver. I need to have ligature in silver because of my saliva. I talked about that before. It turns all the gold ligatures green. So this one is great. Price, I bought this on Morgan Mouthpieces, which by the way, they're a great company and they make great mouthpieces too. But Morgan Mouthpieces, I got it for right under $90. And maybe it was like a little bit over 90 with shipping. But, you know, not the cheapest thing in the world, but it's way better quality than like this $9 one that I got on Amazon. So there you go, BG Tradition L17. If you're purchasing a Drake mouthpiece, or if you have a mouthpiece like a Berg Larson or that Morgan Florida Excalibur or any of those that are a little bit thinner profile, this is a great ligature. Okay. Well, I can't even say I hope it helps. I don't know if it's going to help anybody, but it's helped me. So have a great day.